Well, this certainly isn't how I planned on starting this episode, but it's what Mother Nature gave me. After watching this storm on the radar all day, it looked like it was starting to clear up, so Joe and I decided to chance it, and we drove up right around sunset. The storm must not have been watching the same weather channel we were, because it definitely didn't clear up. In fact, it got worse, and we arrived in a torrential downpour. I think it may be time for a new tent. I've had this thing for almost 20 years. But it's just not holding the water back like it used to. There are puddles all over the place, and I've been using this towel to try and soak them up, but even that's completely saturated now. I'm sure I could buy some waterproofing spray and maybe get another year or two out of this, but it might just be time for an upgrade. This can be used as a fair weather tent when we know rain isn't in the forecast.
Well, good morning.
I was hoping it was just last night because of the rain that the mosquitoes were so bad and swarming us. It was almost worse than the rain itself, but we've only been up for about 5 minutes and they're already swarming again. So it looks like it's going to be one of those trips where I gator up and put the hood on and put a hat on and just try to keep them off of me. I think knocking down some of this tall grass might cut back on the mosquitoes a bit. So while Joe cooks up some breakfast and gets the kitchen organized, I'm going to try to weed eat a bit. I'll spare you the time-lapse video and just try to do a little before and after.
Aww.
I think that looks a lot better. It's not my best work, but it's certainly better than it was before. The trails are still covered with leaves from last fall, so the first thing we need to do is give them a quick once-over with some leaf rakes. Okay, so we're done with the first pass. We've got about 80% of the trail raked out and we're ready to go back in for more. But I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to the newest member of Moxham Trails. This is Tenzing. A little bit of a history lesson. Tenzing Norgay was the Sherpa that helped Edmund Hillary become the first person to climb Mount Everest. And so, kind of as a memorial to him, I've named this cart Tenzing Norgay to be our Sherpa as we haul stuff up and down the trail. There's no easy line through here without hitting a rock and completely sucking your energy because you're on a climb. It's not a divot that's caused by poor drainage, so if we fill it with gravel and dirt, I'm not worried about it getting washed away.
I saw a kitty cat chase a psychedelic rat into a black hole, and he crawled out real fat. He started bleeding shades of purple on the pavement, exclaiming the awakening was so close he could taste it. To ease my mind, I put on 1992 cartoons, and then a wrinkled man, he popped up with some breaking news. He started screaming as he pointed at the sky. Oh my, I think we're all about to die. Well, I guess I'm gonna die too.
That is a million times better. I cannot tell you how much this spot bothered me on climbs. Not exactly what I came here to do. I thought we were going to be building berms. This is probably a better use of our time.
I guess I'm gonna die too young. Too young. I walked outside and saw something that I had never seen. All of my neighbors were butt naked and were turning green. They started reading out the book of Revelations, proclaiming that some Superman is gonna come and save them. To ease my mind, I started smoking herb and drinking booze. And then a wrinkled man, he popped back on the breaking news. He started laughing as he hung his head inside. For my, oh my, I think we're all about to die. Well, I guess I'm gonna die too young. Too young. I guess I'm gonna die too young. Too young. They keep on telling me, they keep on telling me. I guess I'm gonna die too young. Too young. Too young.
Joe and I were headed up to the top of the property to do some more work on B&B when he noticed some survey flags from a trail that we had mapped out a couple years ago. So, in keeping with our theme for the day, we forgot what we had planned on doing and got to work building a new trail. It's a fun one, huh?
Yeah.
So much worse than raking leaves. Just the spots where it actually gets a decent amount of sunlight. It's all loam, but not rideable loam. Stuff that you definitely have to rip up or remove somehow. Glad Joe's doing it, not me. The trickiest part of building this trail was addressing the large hole at the bottom of the first downhill.
Almost perfect.
Very nice. That filled about half of it. That's 50% less dirt we have to go get. Nicely done. Maybe one wagon of dirt on top.
Yeah, it's really loamy. There's a ton of it too.
So what you're saying is we could take all the stuff that you just ripped up and use that to fill the hole down there. But I was so looking forward to taking the wagon all the way down to the clearing and filling it with dirt and bringing it all the way back up here.
Don't let me stop you.
It's been almost 3 hours. I think it's pretty much rideable right now. I'll walk you through it. Upchuck continues off in that direction, but we've got a turn here. A little bit of straightaway to build up speed, and then a little rock right here to jump off of. Into this downhill that led into the giant hole that we filled with rocks, and Joe's started to fill in with some of the loam he's tearing up. Had several debates about where we wanted to turn, but we knew we needed to turn right in here somewhere. And then we come to this spot where we drop down to the next terrace, and we have options here. We can go around or right over this little roll here. There's a boulder under here somewhere, but there's a generous amount of dirt on top of it too. Nice little straightaway. And then this meets back up with Upchuck much further down. So it's like a little spur off of Upchuck. Before we had Winnie, Allison, Ethan, and I had a cat named Tinkerbell. And she passed away right around the same time that Joe and I first mapped out this trail. And so I've decided to call it Tinkerbell for a few reasons. One, in memory of our beloved pet. But two, because I imagine parts of this trail are going to be a little bit sketchy. And I think Tinkerbell is the perfect ironic name for what I envision here. By this point in the day, Joe and I were both exhausted, and we just wanted to give the trail a try. So we grabbed our bikes, and I tried to record our ride on my chest-mounted action camera. Unfortunately, the camera shifted after the first big bump, and you can't see much beyond my front tire. No need to worry though, I'm sure I'll be back up here in the near future to make a nicely polished mountain bike video for this trail.
Ready? Ah, it's off. Yeah, that's sharp. Woo! That was a lot of fun. This weekend did not go the way I expected, but I am totally satisfied with the way things happened. It was a struggle to get in here in the rain, but it was an adventure that we survived. Got to work this morning doing things that needed to be done, but were not the things I thought we'd be doing. Adding a new trail was not on the agenda, but I think it was well worth our time, and Tinkerbell turned out great. We are going to pack up everything and head into town, grab a burger, and go home.
We gotta get to bed. It's 8:14.
It's 8:14. We're going to try to make it home with a little bit of daylight left and call it a trip. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Moxham Trails.